I never get bored of that.
What car is this do I have behind me? Shimmy, what is this?
Well, this is, I'm assuming it's a Lexus as the owner myself, but Lexus LC500, and you have a Lexus yourself, so you're a little familiar with Lexus vehicles here and there as well.
I do. I love my Lexus vehicles. You guys know that. So this is the 2018 LC500. This was kind of the replacement for, what was it before, the SC?
Yes, the SC.
The SCs, they didn't
People
have...
still drive them to this day.
I
Reliability.
See that. Yeah, it's true, reliability, but
Yeah.
it didn't really have like that sports car feel. And so Lexus came out with this in 2018. We want to go ahead in this video. I'm going to give you a first drive and review of Shimmy's 2018 Lexus LC500. Looks really cool, and this does have that 5-liter V8 engine, which is going to be the talk of the town, I'm sure. You're going to be enjoying it in the first drive. Beautiful. This is coming in the stealth black, so tell me about this color.
Yeah, so a lot of people think it's just like a vinyl wrap, but
Right.
it's actually the Expel Stealth PPF, so it's a paint protection film that takes your OEM paint and then it forms it into a satin finish.
Nice.
So it just came out when I actually brought my car in, and Lorenzo from Auto Inception Motive Detailing, he advised it and was like, it'll really help bring out the lines. Because black cars, you know yourself, the lines get hidden a bit. But of course with your R8, because it's very sharp, brings it out. But in general, like the satin kind of finish, it helps brings it out, and ultimately it protects the paint, like you know yourself as well.
And if you guys haven't seen that video, I will link in the card above. Lorenzo's a great guy. He went ahead and did my buddy's GT4, put a full paint protection film on it. Really nice. But the big thing here, again, you come to the front of the vehicle, striking on the grille. It's huge. Again, some people polarize on the grille.
Yeah, it's
like
a Lexus thing.
It's a Lexus thing.
But I think on the LC it works.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say.
I think it works. It looks really nice. You have this beautiful, the one thing I noticed about the lights here, LED strip comes in and it kind of comes into the housing here.
Yes, right into the housing. And if you actually come closely, they actually have the Lexus logo and things like that inside.
All
the
in
headlight.
here.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
they have a lot of attention to detail things
That's
inside,
crazy.
like the headlight as well too. And to point out that, you know, quirky stuff, like the turning signal is also vertical as well too, right? So
okay.
it gives it a bit of the, originally I thought the car kind of had a clown look, right? It's very like different, unconventional, but it's what makes it special as well.
No, it looks really good. Very wide, so that's the other thing. I was surprised. This is my first time seeing an LC in a while. Really wide. In comparison to my R8, I'd probably argue it's a little bit wider than my R8. So very menacing look, especially with the stealth black. Looks really good. And obviously underneath this, we have this 5-liter engine, V8, making 471 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque, 7,000 RPM red line.
Yes.
7,000 RPM red line.
And you can actually increase it to, I think, 7,200 if you go to your dealership and they unlock it.
Oh no, do you have to pay for the unlock?
I'm not sure, I haven't asked yet, so you can go to your dealership. Sorry, 7.5.
Wow,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So more power than my R8, which is pretty cool, but this car does weigh 4,200 pounds. So it's a heavy vehicle, but this is a GT vehicle.
Right.
This is not a light sports car.
Right.
You're gonna notice that they went ahead, the big thing that will obviously covers the interior, lots of great quality materials in the interior. But honestly, from the outside, it looks great. Coming over to the side here, you can kind of see like nice sharp line right here on the side, little intake here, and then this door handle. So how do you even open this door?
Right, so people do say it's Tesla inspired, but it just pops out like that, and then you can close it as well. Well, forgot my key in the trunk.
You forgot the
but it does, right. It is kind of the Tesla style, and over time it'll auto lock on its own. And
Gotcha.
you know, these little quirky things, and kind of where you mentioned the swooping aspect. You mentioned it earlier. It's very LFA
It is
inspired
very
as well
LFA.
too, right? So a lot of people confuse it for the LFA,
Right.
ironically. Not sure if it's actual car enthusiasts or just
Yeah.
people who know of it, but they do get it confused, and people tend to ask. But
well, a lot of stuff does come from the
Yes,
LFA,
exactly.
right? It came down into this vehicle, and we're going to see that, especially on the inside, the instrument cluster. But you also have here your 4-piston. Is this 4-piston?
yes.
4-piston Brembos up front.
Actually, it might even be 6 and then 4 in the rear.
It is 6,
Yes,
4 in the
it's
rear.
6.
Okay, you got these Continentals on here, Sport Contact 6. So we come around as well. Gas cap is here, swooping kind of rear arch down here. And then you have this interesting kind of taillight design.
Oh yeah,
I think this is pretty cool.
It's actually the rear of the LC is one of my favorite parts. So
Yeah.
to mention earlier, there's actually a lot of chrome on the vehicle, but
Right.
Lorenzo blacked out a lot of the chrome as well
Gotcha.
too. So this actually comes chrome. Very controversial because it looks a little tacky to a lot of LC owners, but
Okay.
you know, we put like a black gloss over it.
Gotcha.
And it does have that, you know, vertical taillight look once again as
Right.
well. And then the rest of these like trim pieces were chrome, but I decided to just black it out for that stealth look.
Right.
overall
Well,
as well too.
you guys tell us in the video, do you think this looks tacky? I don't think it looks tacky.
I think it works.
I think it works.
Yeah, subjective, but I think it works as well.
That's the
too.
big thing. So much of this is subjective.
Yes.
Some people still hate every Lexus grill. They're like, that thing looks ugly.
Yeah.
I'm like,
right,
dude,
right.
I actually really like it. So I don't know what
Right,
you're talking
right.
about. But then the rear, you see this double exhaust system here, dual exhaust. I really do like this rear. It's pretty beefy.
Yeah,
mean.
it's and there's a lot of like intricate lines to it as well too. I think the R8 has more sharp, rounded lines,
Right.
But this has more just direct lines.
I agree.
If that makes sense as well.
So
too.
rear view mirror, we'll talk about the technology package and everything, of course. Deck lid spoiler, so this just comes out with a button, I guess?
Comes out with a button, and it actually goes up at certain speeds.
Okay,
as
gotcha.
well,
So
too,
you're on
right?
the highway,
Yes.
you're cruising.
Right.
All right, it's coming out.
But I have it set up all the time just for the aesthetic, on a personal level.
Nice.
As well, too.
So, looks pretty good from the outside. Let's check out the interior of this beauty. Okay, we're inside the LC500. It is a nice experience here. Like, the first thing you notice right away is just everything is covered in leather or Alcantara. It's very beautiful. Like, in a lot of vehicles, you'd think, okay, where's the plastics, right? There's no plastics in here. The shifter, the steering wheel, the center console here, it's all really done up nicely.
Yeah.
Wow. The Alcantara here on the doors, it's got this nice like finish.
Yeah, and the roof is all Alcantara.
Roof is all Alcantara. Wow. This is nice. It just feels like quality immediately because you just see Alcantara and the aluminum.
Yes.
Right? All the aluminum touches everywhere here. Looks very beautiful. But the one thing that, and this is why it's kind of called the baby LFA, it brings in some of those things, this tack. So how do I change this tack to begin with?
Right here.
This.
Yes.
So the cool thing is it physically moves
It's not
the
digital.
tachometer.
Yeah,
it's not digital.
just digital.
So it's digital and it's
Yes,
physical and it's
correct.
moving. So that's pretty cool. And it does have that tack that looks like the LFA. So that's really cool. And again, it's got good power, 471 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque. Like, that's good power. So let's go ahead, take it for a drive, and Shimmy, you're going to tell me a little bit
Yes, sir.
more about
So the
this.
shifter is a little interesting. Okay, so you got it into drive perfectly fine, but
You know how?
how do you?
Because
Oh,
the NX...
they introduced it.
So the NX
Ah,
2023,
no wonder.
they're doing this now, and this was in 2018.
Right, so this confused a lot of people,
Right.
and it confuses mechanics because they're not
Gotcha.
used to it.
'Cause they're
Because
not
now
used
the
to it.
modern Lexuses now have it. Do they have that tactical?
Not like this.
Oh,
no,
wow.
not like this. So this is, to me, like, and I've been in lots of Lexus vehicles. You guys know this on the channel. This is unique. I haven't been in an LFA. So that's
Not
the
yet,
thing.
not yet, yeah,
not
yeah.
yet. But that's pretty phenomenal.
Wow, good for you though. Yeah, you got it down. So what's very unique, and they call it the Frankenstein because of this.
I see.
That's where you change the drive mode.
The drive modes.
Yes.
Okay, so right now it's normal. I want to go to Sport Plus, Sport. Okay.
Yeah.
Changes all that. So that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead. Let's take it for a drive. All right. It's got a heads-up display too.
Yes.
I
HUD.
like that. That looks really nice. So 10-speed automatic transmission.
Yes.
Got the paddle shifters. Ooh, so Very smooth, and we're not even kicking it yet. Very smooth right now on the V8. That's why I like Lexus engines. I noticed, especially the V6, buttery smooth, and obviously they brought that here to the V8. Ooh. And you could tell this is a Grand Tour. I can feel that it's heavy. 4,200 pounds, is that right?
It's almost 2 tons essentially.
Almost 2 tons. But you know what? 2 tons with a 5-liter V8. Do you hear that? Woo!
I never get bored of that.
This is very unique. Like, Lexus vehicles don't sound like this. This LC. And this is stock.
Yes, completely stock. I do have the valve set to open all the time.
Gotcha.
So when it's purely stock, it'll have open valves at the different drive modes and higher speeds.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Love the seats. Very supportive. Very comfortable. The paddle shifters are nice and big. Downshift. Downshift. Into third. Put the pedal down. It's got character. It's got really beefy character. This engine is actually from the RCF, but it has more horsepower than the RCF.
Apparently, it's also from even the ISF, but just they changed it over time as well too. They've kept the same V8 for all these years.
Gotcha. And so you have now how many kilometers on this?
I have approximately 65K. So 65K. I probably put 15K last summer, just driving it a lot, right?
Gotcha.
So, but honestly, it's reliable, you know?
Brakes, progressive, good. All right, we're at a stop sign. Let's see how fast this can accelerate from a go. Rear wheel drive, hooks up. Woo! That was fast. So 0 to 60, 4.9 seconds. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, pretty much around that. There are slight variations. Sometimes 4.8 can even hit like 7, but you're right, on the ball pretty much.
And let's be real here. You got to be a magazine driver to kind of get those figures. You guys know with my R8s, you know, the magazine said they could go 12.9. I hit 13.3 at the drag strip. With a stick shift, it's harder. 10-speed auto, held pretty well there. I really like that. So this does have the Lexus touchpad.
Yes.
Right? So I know some people like it, they don't. What's your experience?
Personally, you get used to it.
You get used to it.
And if that's one of the major complaints, that's not that bad of a deal, realistically. In the 2024, though, apparently, based on rumors, and now there is video evidence, they get rid of it.
Okay.
Yes, and they got rid of this in-console UI experience, and now they put a screen, kind of like what Mercedes-Benz and Beamer does.
Gotcha. Is it the same screen kind of as the new NX and RX?
I'm not sure about that, but it is. Yeah,
we'll definitely check that out. The seats are very, again, supportive. I like this. And these are these cooled and heated?
Yes, it is AC and heater.
Gotcha.
One thing I did want to mention, do you notice because our windows are up how quiet it is and how much it avoids the road noise?
It is.
Like, it's just so like sophisticated and delicate in here. Like,
it is. And again, like, I don't see any carbon fiber in here outside of the door sills. The door sills have carbon fiber, but clearly the intent for Lexus in this vehicle is luxury, right? Performance, but not sacrificing luxury, right? They didn't want to go ahead and deck it out with all carbon fiber. Everything is nice, Alcantara, aluminum, leather around the vehicle. I really like it. The sound just experience, oh my god. I love looking at this tach as we downshift in the second gear. Wow. It's unique.
It is.
I like the color of the interior. What is this color called?
I believe it's like a caramel, but I call it a peanut butter.
It does look like peanut butter.
Because the thing is, it's almost too much brown, but it works.
It works.
For some reason, it really does work.
It does work. I think the interior is just as unique as the exterior of this vehicle. That's intoxicating. Like, that just makes you just want to downshift. Downshift. Oh my god. And you know what's funny? You still get all the auditory experience of the characteristics of the vehicle. You just, all that road noise is kind of eliminated.
Yes.
So that's what makes this also really nice. And yeah, this is a coupe. Who can you fit in the back, Shimmy?
Shorter people and groceries?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like, I fit in the back. The cool thing is, to get in the back seat, once you put the seat down, it automatically pushes the seat forward for you. I've never seen
this
that
guy,
before.
Yeah, he was very He was very shocked. He was like, whoa, this is Lexus quality right there. I would have thought that carried over with some of the other Lexuses as well too.
Not in anyone that I've seen. So we are going to be reviewing the IS500 coming up. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video. Also, follow Shimmy. I'll link all of his details in the description box down below. Really thank you again for even giving me the opportunity to review this vehicle. Always wanted to go ahead and check one out, and this is the opportunity to do so. And just
oh man, even as a passenger, and I've driven this for at least a year now, I still smile.
Does it feel different sitting in the passenger seat?
It does. It does.
Different, yeah.
But it makes me able to actually have the feeling of the torque more. Because when I'm driving, I'm so focused on like your driving experience. But being here, I'm able to have the patience to feel that torque as well too.
And you got to use both of those handles in the passenger seat. Hold on for dear life.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so
I'm just glad from a, you know, an owner of an R8, which is more of a raw, like, power driving experience, can appreciate something like this, which is not exactly at the opposite end of a spectrum, but even a different segment, realistically, right?
I agree. And you know what? I appreciate all types of cars. You guys know this on the channel too. I really like when brands know who their target demographic is and really caters the vehicle to them. Right. Like if you're buying this vehicle, you're not looking for every 10th of a second on your 0 to 60. You're looking for the entire driving experience. Right. And you've taken this in downtown Toronto traffic. Yep. Like, and it's
I really don't mind being in traffic with this. Right. If anything. And for long periods of time, on road trips, for example.
These roads aren't the greatest right now, okay? We got a lot of potholes, everything.
And for because they did increase the suspension in terms of softness specifically over the year models. But for 2018 and the first year, like it's more than tolerable for like what you feel on the road as well too, right? Like going over the bumps, you know, you're doing your best avoiding the potholes and such. So it is such a comfortable feeling in that sense, even when you hit something.
Adaptive suspension. So it's got that. And again, Lexus reliability.
Yes.
Right? That's the other thing. You can go ahead and look at other German manufacturers, right? Look at those, what those offerings are. But at the end of the day, I can feel comfortable taking this to Vancouver.
Yes.
Like I'd feel perfectly fine. And that's what I love about Lexus.
And I think another thing to point out is on paper, it's hard to describe the driving experience. You know, you can look at the numbers all you want, say it's super heavy, it's not the fastest car, but once you drive it and you're actually behind the wheel of it, then you can actually make some kind of claim on it and, you know, your thoughts.
I agree, and that's why we're driving this vehicle today, and it's just, I love it. Even the details, the door handles.
Yes, the door, yeah, right?
That is beautiful. Like, that is really different, beautiful. I really like what they've done here with that. And there's all these little nuances and kind of quirks with this vehicle as well. You have like the door lock button, which goes green. It's this little aluminum piece. I like that. Inside of the doors, it's actually just raw carbon fiber, right? The little bolt had Lexus logo written into it. Like these little details, you can obviously see they put more money into it. They didn't go into the parts bin.
The same factory the LFA was produced in is where they make the LC as well too.
Wow, I did not know that. That's interesting.
So yeah, they try to keep that essence with the LC of you know, being essentially this is their modern day Halo, despite, you know, the LFA being their true Halo, but it's not something they produce anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately they stopped producing it, but you know, the LFA really kind of set the standard for what Lexus could deliver, right, for a sports car experience. And you know, if you can't afford an LFA,
you got the LC.
You got the LC. I think it's perfectly adequate, actually.
Right. I do consider it the affordable and achievable like dream car for many people at this point as well.
I think you're right. The one thing I will say, the personalities are very different compared to the LFA. Obviously, the engine in the LFA, love that high-pitched sound. But this is more raw, almost more muscle car-y.
Yes.
Right? Definitely different than from what Lexus has done previously. Oh, Alcantara all here on the A-pillar.
So something to mention with the real wheels, not exactly sure what the terminology is, but they also turn with the car.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's called again.
Vectoring wheels.
Yes, they also have that too. So it gives it a better, wider turn distance.
Better turn radius.
Yes, correct.
And you know what? The transmission 10-speed, it gives you a little bit of a tiny jolt.
Yes.
I actually like it. It adds to the experience. A lot of people, you know, especially for the Lamborghinis, they said, oh, it's single clutch, and Lamborghini set out, actually, we prefer that to add it to the experience. I agree with it, right? Like 10 speed, you probably get good highway mileage on this.
Yes, highway specific. In city, it's a little more rough,
I can imagine.
of course, with
Fuel economy.
stop and go. But on the highway, if you go at cruising speeds, you can actually hit about 8 liters
per 100 kilometers,
which is really great for a V8.
That's honestly solid for a V8. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, it does switch from the auto cycle to Atkinson cycle when you are on the highway for this engine. So that's pretty cool if it does that.
Wait, what? Sorry, what is that?
So basically, how the engine firing order happens.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
this guy did his homework. Respect.
The Atkinson cycle, just like the NX that I just purchased, you guys know this. It is set up on that because you do save fuel when you're actually burning at that cycle.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. Like, they put a lot of technology and thinking into this vehicle, the engine and the design.
And the LC, from the LFA, it was a trickle effect for the LC, but the LC produced a lot of trickle effect for the rest of the vehicles as well too.
Right.
But also honing in on the uniqueness of the characteristics of this car, and you know, giving it that special experience versus any other. Because you're about to any other Lexus, but you're about to drive the LS500. I think you'll find it different in terms of, first of all, it is a sedan.
Yes.
And personally, I think the exhaust isn't as aggressive as the LC, despite it being the same engine, for example.
So you guys are going to have to make sure you subscribe. We're going to find out if that's true or Shimmy's just...
Yeah, I could be just saying it. You never know.
No, but I think I agree. I think they made this car, obviously, for its unique segment and class.
Right.
You need it to stand out and be different, but this is really cool. I'm excited to see what they do for 2023, but, you know, let me know. What are your guys' thoughts? What do you guys like about the interior, the exterior? I think, again, if you like that exterior look of this Lexus, of all the Lexus design, then I think you'd like this one. And I think this interior is one of a kind, very unique. I think they hit it out of the park with this. And I wish I could just drive this more, actually. Shimmy, can I just have it for like a month or something? Want to switch cars?
Yeah, I mean, we could, but then yours, I think, would be really great for that just raw driving experience, right? In that sense. But you see why, like, I chose this as a summer daily. It's one of the most perfect summer dailies, if anything.
I see why. That was the 2018 LC500. Shimmy, thanks so much.
No, thank you.
This was an awesome experience to drive this thing. What do you guys think? Honestly, I love the experience here. You know, we did a little drive-by comparison with this and the R8, two different beasts. We kind of said basically two different kind of extremes, right? Both go from calm to extreme, but the R8 a little bit more aggressive on both ends of the spectrum, where this is a little bit more refined. Of course, this is a GT driver. It felt like a GT car. Really nice on the outside. I love the styling. Interior makes you feel special. Very unique experience on the interior. And then that engine, that 5-liter V8, pulsing smooth power, lots of torque, a lot of horsepower. Honestly, really, really great GT experience and driver. Love this vehicle. If you want to know more, I'll link the description again where you can find the LC500 and Shimmy's channel, right? I'll link all that, Instagram, everything. Make sure you go ahead and follow them and check it out. And also, Cars of Kitchener and Owen, lots of shots. I'm going to share with you some of the great photography that's happened. We're going to get some beautiful B-roll shots in the sunset right now to end off this video, because I think this car looks stunning. I'm going to leave you some beauty shots for you to just kind of gloss over and just, oh.